Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Joey Galvez, one half of your host of Explain Yourself, and I want to let you guys know about a really cool book from our friend of the show, Eli Shockey. This one is called The Greylock, and it's a story where magic is a commodity. Potions are sold at corner stores. Orcs and dwarves earn a living in cubicles, not on the battlefields. But there are those who resist the house's magic's laws. Branded a criminal and forced to live as a wand for hire, there is a spell slinger they call the Greylock. Check this one out. You guys can pre-order issue 3 right now with code JAN241939, and make sure you guys are heading over to your favorite LCS and letting them know that you want Greylock number 3, and maybe pick up the first 2 issues. You could do that at the Scout web store. So make sure you guys are grabbing the Greylock number 3, JAN241939 at previewsworld.com.
Okay, everybody. I have something really cool to tell you about. If you haven't heard yet about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain here. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one single place. Now, the way that you can do this is you got to download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm, and then you can get started. It's really fun. We just switched over recently here at All Too Real 2, and I'm enjoying it so far. So be sure to check it out and let us know what you think. Okay, everyone. Welcome to the All Too Real 2 podcast. I'm your host, Michael E. Cullen II, and with me always is the other beautiful and wonderful host, Matthew Haas.
Thank you.
That was beautiful, Matt.
You used the word beautiful last time, too.
It's
very nice compliment.
Yes.
I like that.
Everything is beautiful in its own way.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyways, so we're still going down this journey of the wonderful and beautiful world of direct-to-video sequels. Yes, I said beautiful again. It's the third time in this cast.
It's like a beautiful piece of cake, right?
Yes.
Sorry, I laughed at my own joke.
It's okay, man. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. No, really, it's okay. Okay, so today we're covering quite possibly the greatest sequel ever made, if you've never seen any other sequel before in your life. It's a movie called Bigger, Fatter, Liar, which was released in 2017 as a sequel to the 2002 family comedy Big Fat Liar.
Yeah.
The original, which starred Frankie Muniz and Amanda Bynes and Donald Faison and other people, Paul Giamatti as the bad guy.
Yeah.
And in this one, we get some
kid.
Some kid.
I don't know who he is.
Some Garcia kid. Here, let's bring this up really quick.
Some kid that's probably, going to be famous one day. And...
He's in like a pop band or something, from what I've heard.
Oh.
It's his name is Ricky Garcia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then Jodelle Fergland is his best friend, Becca. In this movie, Ricky plays Kevin Shepard, whereas in the first movie, Frankie Muniz played Jason Shepard. No relation.
So is this supposed to be like a Stifler thing, a cousin, or anything like that? Or
No, totally different cities, totally different characters,
Okay.
just, similar names.
Because that would be really weird if the same family went through the same
exact
situation
thing.
twice, like getting a great idea stolen from them.
Oh, yeah, don't spoil yet. Don't spoil this wonderful original story.
Yeah, sorry. We'll save that for later.
And as the bad guy named Larry Wolf in this movie, whereas in Paul Giamatti's character in the first movie was named Marty Wolf.
Jesus.
Didn't
even try.
Yeah. But, I mean, the story is loosely based on The Boy Who Cried Wolf.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why they give the last name Wolf.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah. At least the original, it makes sense. This one, I don't really.
Well, it kind of does because he lies in this one, too.
Yeah, but what's the point?
Nothing.
Anyways, that's played by the, in this I will say, the brilliant actor Barry Bostwick, who is normally amazing. He's not like he's necessarily bad in this movie. Not necessarily that Ricky Garcia or Jodelle Fergland are bad in this movie either. I think they're all acceptable in their roles with what they were given.
Yeah.
I don't fault any of them.
I mean, if you're given a piece of shit, you can only do so much with it.
I mean,
right?
you can shine a piece of shit all you want and still not a diamond.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this movie's not quite a piece of shit.
No, it's somewhere
okay.
in the middle.
I watched it on Wednesday night. It was a nice little thing to just sort of chill out to, not really have to pay attention a whole lot to figure it out.
So what I did earlier this week, I do not remember if I ever saw the original Big Fat Liar. So I decided, hey, I'm going to refresh myself. So I watched both these movies back to back. And I'm pretty sure that if we somehow put these two movies on a loop and did the whole like Clockwork Orange thing where you pry the guy's eyes open and make him watch a movie, I'm pretty sure we can get them to confess to almost any crime ever.
Like a form of torture, basically?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, just because basically, here's the thing. Folks out there, if you've seen Big Fat Liar, you've seen Bigger, Fatter Liar.
And better.
Yeah.
Basically.
With a bigger budget.
Yeah.
The first movie had a bigger budget, obviously, because it was released in theaters, whereas this was direct-to-video. Plot points exactly the same. Instead of a black limo driver, they had a Russian limo driver. That was about the biggest change in the whole frickin' movie.
Wow.
Yeah. And instead of being in the original, it was a story that Jason wrote that Marty stole. In this one, Kevin writes a video game on a piece of paper.
How do you write a video game? Does it mean the code?
I guess so. But my thing is,
why would his teacher even know how to read that though?
Yeah,
it wasn't even about coding. So
and it was for like some social studies class.
So how is his teacher going to know how to read this?
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
Here's my thing about both of these movies because I watched them back to back. Okay, I don't remember about the first one, but I know for sure in this one, Kevin is not allowed to get on the internet. He still has access to his computer. Why is he handwriting this fucking paper?
It doesn't make any much sense to me either.
Because I'm pretty sure Microsoft Word and any other kind of thing of that nature works without the internet.
What if the printer is that connected to the internet at all or not?
No.
Wouldn't be able to print?
No, you can print.
Well, I know you normally, but I mean if it's like a whole system connected to the internet, or I don't know.
No, and
probably
I mean,
not.
And if not, I mean, I don't know. I'm
to
sure he
make
has a flash drive or something he could save the paper on and go and take it to school and print it.
They wanted to make it seem more dramatic of him like writing out this.
But I'm saying, use your fucking computer, and this movie doesn't happen.
Right, save it. You got a copy right there. Of course, I mean the guy could still steal it. But...
Yeah, but you can at least prove to your dad because he didn't really care about the guy stealing the game.
Yeah.
He cared more about his dad believing in him.
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
Yeah,
this is what makes the movie so stupid. Okay.
So, anyways, okay. So what happens is, in the first movie and in this movie, the main character gets hit by a rich guy's limo on his way to school to turn in a paper that he was supposed to have turned in before. But, you know, in this version he plagiarized it, so that's why...
Idiot.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have ways to test that.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, is in that scene where he is plagiarizing it, he goes on his computer, there's a search bar right on his home screen. He didn't get online at all. Types into that thing and everything pops up on the screen. There's no use of like getting onto Firefox or Chrome or any kind of web browser to get the stuff. And it all and he just automatically goes, oh yeah, this works. It's like he gets everything he needs right away. There's no searching involved.
So
I mean, Google is pretty advanced, but not that advanced.
And it's 2017.
Yeah.
So the directors still don't know how the internet works. I can understand it,
but I mean,
2000
the thing is,
or something like that. Like,
and the thing is, I won't even blame that on the director. I'll blame that on whoever did the graphics for that scene because, and obviously, if they're doing graphics, they understand how a freaking computer works. They're just dumbing it down for the audience, but it's still
the audience who would watch this movie unironically, I guess. I don't know. And then,
I mean, I guess it's for kids. I don't know. I don't know. Matt.
It's very upsetting.
My head hurts.
Me too, a little bit.
Okay, so I don't know. What else happens in this plot, quote-unquote?
This quote-unquote plot. Well, okay. Gets hit by the car. They start wrangling with each other about who's going to sue who, blah, blah, blah. Kid says he'll call it even if he takes him to school. So the guy agrees to take him to school. And then the kid finds out that he's the president or the interactive or whatever.
Vice president of something at this video game company.
So the kid knows who he is. Then the guy's like, oh, great, you must have a video game idea, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, yeah, I do actually. So he gives him the paper. The guy pretends that he's not really interested in it. Takes him to school. Guy basically kicks him out of the car, keeps the paper in there, and has the driver drive off.
Yeah, unlike in the first one where Jason accidentally left the paper in the limo, this one that is a little different.
It is.
It kind of makes this Larry Wolf guy more of an asshole
worse,
than Marty.
Yeah,
yeah, because he pushes the kid out of the car,
right,
and then peels off with the freaking paper.
Yeah, because in the first one, Paul Giamatti's character doesn't even read it when the kid's in the car. It's only
he discovers it.
Like
after.
I think he even at first even tries to offer to
give it
but
back.
The kid's already run away.
Yeah.
So then he starts reading it, and he's like, "Oh, this is actually pretty good." And then he steals it. This guy's like, "You know what? Fuck you. I'm stealing this thing." Yeah. So the kid is basically trying to chase after the car, and then he tells his teacher that he swears he's telling the truth this time. He actually did his homework for real, and it was such a great project. And he's lied so many times that she doesn't believe him, so he has to go to summer school. His dad's really disappointed in him. Of course, he's got a dead mom, so it has the whole...
Yeah, they added that in.
Yeah.
Give him a little bit of sympathy, so he has reasons.
Yeah, he has reasons to lie about everything.
Yeah.
And, your mother was so proud of you, but I'm just disappointed, so you have that whole thing. And, he's got to go to summer school. He's basically hacking into a computer at summer school, talking to his best friend. And he, really awkward. I mean, they had good chemistry, but I just mean like the questions, like hear of any new games, like why, like what he like they don't even seem like she doesn't even play video games with them, so like why would she, whatever. And then
I mean my thing is it's like the he's in this detention, or I mean not detention but summer school or whatever. Mm-hmm. The computers in this summer school for some odd reason look like they're at least 20 years old.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
because they got the old CRT monitors on them, and they've got these, and he hacks into that, but yet he couldn't hack his computer at home to get onto the internet that his dad took away.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's right. Yeah,
or be smart enough to save his fucking paper
That's the thing, too, because he got to break into the school firewall and all the other security things going on there, but he can't do that in his own house.
I mean, is this a commentary on our education system and how unadvanced it is, or
maybe?
I don't know.
But then he's like the lone genius in an economics class, mind you, and then the guy. So he hacks it and he's chatting with his friend, and he says, "Yeah, have you heard of any new games?" And then she goes, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, his friend named Becca, played by Jodelle.
Yeah.
Jodelle Ferdland.
Actually, she's one of the shining stars of this movie, along with Barry Bostwick. Unfortunately, you get what you get, right? But sometimes you got to take the offer.
You take the good, you take the bad.
Yeah. And you wait, what?
Yeah, I know. I was about to go into the facts of life.
I was going to say facts of life, the facts of life. Anyway, so she's like, yeah. This actually made me think of you, really stressing the point, that, this is a game that he would make type of thing. So then he loads up the trailer or whatever, demo. Like, that's my game! Blah, blah. And then what happens? Oh, yeah, then he's trying to convince his dad that this is his game.
That his game was stolen.
His dad doesn't believe him, of course.
And his dad goes on a vacation.
Yeah.
Or a business trip or something. And leaves his credit card with this fucking kid.
Oh, for emergencies. He said for emergencies. Yeah. Which I'm not sure what you would need. What would be an emergency?
Yeah, and my thing is usually in these movies, like, for example, like in a movie that we've covered previously, like Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, they left the kids some money.
But not a credit card.
No, they left them cash.
Well, he gave him cash, too.
And then a credit card.
Which I was really surprised about, because he just got done saying how much of a disappointment he was to him.
Yeah.
Then he gives them cash, of course, fine. He's, I'm
good pretty
dad.
sure if my dad was disappointed in me, he's not going to hand me his credit card.
Right. Which I never understood the whole for emergencies. Like, what, if you go to the hospital, of course, but you're not going to, if you have insurance, you're not going to need to pay with a credit card to go to the freaking hospital, right? It's going to get billed to you later. So,
what kind of emergencies do you really need money for?
I mean, I'm guessing maybe if the pipes exploded and he needs to pay for it right away. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. But it's such.
But usually you can. I mean, in a situation like that, you can have money wired. You can do other things.
Yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff.
We live in 2000 in this movie's world, 17.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need his dad knows enough about business probably to be able to figure this out of how to get money to him in the case of an emergency without giving him his credit card after telling him how much of a disappointment he is. Anyway, so again, the continuity of this story is very weird, very contradictory. So his son's sad that his dad said he was disappointed in him, and then his big plan is he's gonna prove to him that he made the game. So then he calls up his best friend, who's doing yoga. I'm assuming she's doing yoga on her own. But no, it's her parents. And her parents, of course, have to be portrayed by the most stereotypical hippies that you would ever find in a movie ever. Like, it's like, we get it, okay? Her parents are hippies.
Yeah.
Do you really need to drive home the point by them sitting Indian style with a sitar, with sitar music playing from the radio while the dad's holding the sitar? Okay, and then, incense or whatever. And it's like, I hate it when...
Well, I was incensed.
I was incensed by that scene. I hate it when movies, like, almost try to, like, shove the point in your face about things like that. It's like, okay, like, there's ways of saying that a person's parents are hippies without, like, just be like, joke, get it, joke, like... But we're talking about bigger, fatter liars. So, all right. So she tells her parents, and when they're listening to their sitar music or whatever, that she wants to go to yoga camp because what's his name, Jason, or sorry, what's
in this one he's Kevin.
Kevin really needs her to be by
in this one,
he really needs her to be by his side to go to San Francisco. And since, lying to him is second nature, he just assumes that every other person in the world lies to their parents constantly for any reason whatsoever. So, even kids that, respect their parents and want them to, be proud of them and not be disappointed in lying to them. But whatever. And so,
so he's a good moral upstanding citizen here.
He basically, convinces her to lie to her parents. That she wants to go to yoga camp. Can we just keep pressing the point of how they're hippies? Yoga camp. Ooh.
Yep. Because your parents always just want you to be little thems.
Yeah, apparently. So they're like all like happy, like, oh my god, yeah, she wants to go to yoga camp. So that's how she gets, to go with him without raising suspicions of being gone for a long period of time. And they go to San Francisco. They find the place. Of course, it's not going to be easy. Of course, they find it. They go to the guard, I guess, or whatever. What do you call him? The guy at the front desk. Security. He's not really.
His character's name is Jimmy.
Okay, yeah, that's right,
but,
Jimmy.
Played by Reese Alexander. He's like kind of like the chief of security or something, I guess.
Yeah, he's like the big guy, like the one that really takes care of problems. So he
who Larry Wolf always refers to as steroids.
He does? I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
wow,
several times.
That's
in the
terrible.
movie.
Idiot. So they ask him politely, hey, this guy stole my video game. Can you call him and send us up? And the guy does like a whole sarcastic bit about losing his job, blah blah blah, kicks him out. So then they see all these like food delivery people.
Yeah, the food delivery people. So then they decide to like sneak in themselves and dress up like they bribe one of the guys and get his costume for delivering pizza or something.
Yeah. So he's not paying attention. He's like, yeah, sure, go up, but then he runs into a second boundary. This time it's the Larry Wolf's personal assistant.
Okay, who did you notice her name?
No, I didn't pay attention. What was her name?
Okay, the name on her desk. Her name is Penny.
Oh, Pennywise.
Wise.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the clown.
Right.
And also another interesting thing. I guess there's a painting inside Wolf's office that is of I guess it's supposed to be of what's his face? The guy that played Pennywise in the It movie.
Really? There is?
Tim Curry. I just blanked on his name for some reason, but it's supposed to be of Tim Curry. And Tim Curry and Barry Bostwick, who plays Larry, were in Rocky Horror Picture Show together.
Wow.
So it's a weird...
That's a cool, interesting reference.
Yeah, in this great movie.
Yeah, this is a great movie. Yeah, what a way to waste it. But okay. It's like, putting a cherry on a piece of shit. But okay, so... they have to go through her, so then they concoct some plan to... They have this weird thing where they could forward calls to their phone, and they have like a voice thing changer.
A voice modulator.
It was really weird.
Yeah,
really advanced phone.
And they were able to... she called in, and Becca, it was in the hallway, and she was doing research on Pennywise.
Yeah.
And figured out that Penny had a date on some kind of like Tinder type app or something the night before, and I don't know what it was. I don't know how she figured that out, but then she just pretended to be this guy Mike who was her date the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that gets her to get downstairs because he says that he really likes her or whatever. So then she, traipses downstairs, and then that allows Kevin to confront Mr. Wolf. Doesn't go too well, I don't think. And then they get kicked out again this time.
Hi, folks. This is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
manager Matthew Haas.
You got promoted?
Yes.
Damn it. Okay, anyways, folks, do you like the show Superstore? I don't know. I asked the folks, and nobody's answering me.
Because they're not here.
Oh,
but we love
damn it. Yeah, we love it, though. Okay, folks, if you like it as much as we do, you're really going to like the Super Story podcast, which is a podcast where Matthew and I go episode by episode and give our little opinions and thoughts on it. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we don't. Just depends on how we're feeling.
Yeah.
And, so if you like this podcast and like our little crazy banter,
then you should definitely check this out. Or I might get sad. And when I get sad, it gets pretty sad.
Yeah,
so
I can't deal with him when he's sad.
No one can really. So
yeah. So check out Super Story Podcast right here where you get this podcast, Super Story Podcast.
Magus Elgar's apprentice, Udo Malaki, comes from a family of dangerous, exciting casters.
Hi, I'm Udo Malaki, and I do magic.
Even if his ambitions only go as far as staying alive.
You know, I was really hoping you were going to say something a bit more positive.
Not exactly an ideal Magus. You can hear Udo Malaki and his exciting adventures in the upcoming radio comedy, Magus Elgar.
Visit MagusElgar.com to download your copy today.
And I'm blanking of what happened next.
Okay, next. What happened next? I remember this. Okay, basically as they were leaving, Kevin had tried to steal Larry's phone.
Okay.
But Larry caught him. But then they got outside and he bumped his phone, which means that you can copy everything from the phone onto your phone. While it was in his pocket, he had bumped it into his phone. It's actually a technology.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen it in like spy.
Why the hell do they have it?
That's
That's the weird part.
Again, he was able to do this onto his phone, but he forgot to save his fucking paper. He hand wrote his paper.
Yeah. Well, you have
Microsoft Word on a phone now too. You could have just typed it on your cell phone.
You have to have a plot, so
I get that, but why? That's the thing that's going to bug me the most about this whole movie is the fact that he hand wrote everything.
Right.
I don't get this. I don't get it. When I was a kid, I had to handwrite things because we didn't have computers.
Right.
But I don't get it. Okay, anyways, so after that, they figure out his they break into his bank account and pose as his kids and check into the fanciest hotel in the fictional San Francisco of this movie. That's actually Canada. Anyways, because it looks nothing like San Francisco. But I've never been to San Francisco, but I've seen pictures. And this was Canada. You can throw in as many aerial shots of the Golden Gate Bridge as you want, but you're not in fucking San Francisco. I'm sorry. Anyways, but okay, here's my thing. A, Larry steals a paper that he wants to turn into a video game. B, these kids break into his bank information and buy rooms, and then they buy clothes and a bunch of fancy food and all this other shit with his money. To the point where they bankrupt him later in the movie. Which is worse? I'm not saying, I mean, maybe stealing this game that's supposedly worth millions of dollars is worse, but...
Yeah, let's see. They bought a room. Well, they rented a room. They raided the mini bar completely.
Yeah.
Then there is a point she made about how a cheeseburger costs $50. He's like, "Oh, that's not enough. We need to go somewhere fancier."
Yeah, and then they said, "Oh, we don't have good clothes to wear there." So then they go to they have a nice little trying on clothes montage.
Oh yeah,
thing,
of course,
that you have to have in every teen fucking movie ever. And yeah,
you know what I love though about this movie? That they didn't go for the whole, a boy and girl are best friends, they're eventually going to become a thing. Yeah, they sort of hinted at it, but
there was a few times where I'm just like, okay. And my thing is like, if there was a sequel to this sequel, then maybe they would get together. Yeah.
But anyway, because they just hugged. I'm like, okay, good. I don't want to see that stupid.
Yeah, I mean, they did the same thing in the first one, which was good too. They remained friends, and it was good. I mean, so you're basically just stealing from the first one.
Yeah, again.
But still, it's good to see that they didn't have the two of them hook up or anything.
I mean, who would... Anyways, whatever. He's an idiot. But, they steal all of his money. The Russian driver figures them out because he used to work in appliances or something like that.
Yeah, and he came up with the idea to put a TV in a refrigerator.
Oh, yeah, that was his great
that somehow when Larry Wolf was working in that division, he had taken as his own idea.
Yeah. So
much like he did this video game.
You get it?
So,
yeah. So he betrays everyone to get ahead. So he vows revenge or whatever because he's got comrades now to. I only say comrade not because he's Russian, but just whatever.
It's okay.
He's got accomplices. There we go to help him.
I don't think
revenge.
Putin's going to come after us.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I mean, Putin's a fascist anyway. Whatever.
That's for another time.
That doesn't for another podcast. Yeah, right. But we're gonna do a talk about neo-fascism in Europe and all too real
comrades.
Whatever. I try to anyway. So, of course, his like way of revenge is like the most extreme. Like, let's just kill him. They're like, no, we're not gonna kill him. We're just gonna do what we did in the first movie, where we're gonna put something in his shampoo to make his face look all fucked up.
Well, what they did is they put some kind of bleach in his something to bleach his skin in like his skin lotion.
Okay.
I think it was, and then something to dye his hair red or orange or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, that's right.
In his shampoo.
Yeah. That was weird.
Instead of like in the first movie where they turned him blue and then dyed his hair orange.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
And that whole scene too, where he gets home and he's like doing his exercise routine or whatever. Why the fuck would he put all that food into a fucking smoothie? Like, I mean, I get that some people like to drink their eat for some reason.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
But
I accidentally kicked our remote in our studio and turned our TV on. Sorry, folks, we got distracted there. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, I know some people like to drink their eat, but he had all the stuff ready to begin with. He had eggs, and stuff, and it's like, okay, well, I can understand you not having time to eat or whatever, but you already had the stuff prepared already. You could just eat it. Like, there's no reason why you have to put it in the blender for like 15 minutes or whatever. And then,
I guess there's some kind of like health reasons that if you drink stuff, it's better for you or something.
Well, I've heard that.
I've heard the
worse.
opposite. But I mean, whatever. Some people. I guess it just depends on who you listen to. I mean,
of course,
one day red M&Ms are cancerous, and the next day they're great.
Oh, really? I
don't know. I'm just joking.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm just saying. And by the way, I love M&Ms.
Me too.
If they would like to sponsor our show, you can contact me at mike@cullenpark.com. Thank you. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah. So they have to go through a stupid exercise routine to show how much of a douchebag he is, and then he goes and drinks his shit smoothie, and then he's like, ooh, it tastes pretty good, blah, 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 or whatever type of thing. But they put like a bunch of pills.
Yeah, I think they were sleeping pills.
Sleeping pills.
Yeah,
okay.
Here's another thing.
So they drugged him.
They drugged him.
And they could have killed him by putting all
They
those
could
pills.
have killed him.
Right.
They stole all of his money.
And then they broke into his house.
This
drugged
dude just took this kid's paper. It wasn't like they killed his family.
Right. And the thing is, too, it was just the paper. He didn't actually make the game.
No, they still had to. He basically, the thing is that there were still these glitches in the game,
right?
That Kevin had to fix later on. I'll get into that later. Let's put a pin in that right now. But
also don't tell me that like a 3-page paper is enough code to make an entire game like that.
It's not.
Even an Atari game would have more code, than that. Like, whatever.
But then again, I don't know what the fuck that game was.
There's
no reasoning to it.
There was no plot. It was just, we'll get to that later too. But the game itself makes no sense. It just makes sense that a person like Kevin would make it because it literally has no theme, no plot. It's just some kid doing something. Don't know even what he's doing.
I don't get it.
Just walking around. I don't even know what he does. Whatever. So he, after drugging him and potentially killing him, he wakes up and then finds out that his face is like silver or whatever. And
white.
Was it white? Okay.
Yeah,
to me, it
white.
looks silver. I don't know.
Because they basically made him look like a mime.
Okay. And he's got some big, important meeting
which is the worst thing in the world. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Yes.
We do have a special guest coming in later. I'll let you know about that soon.
Yeah. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
So his face is all white and stuff, and he's got like a big, important meeting to talk about the game that he is designing. And of course, he looks like shit because his hair is all like red and orange, and like it looks like they shaved part of his head too.
Yeah, they like shaved the top of his head and gave him kind of like a Friar Tuck sort of.
So like,
yeah,
he just looks terrible, and he insists on doing the interview anyway, and just shows up looking. No, not interview. Sorry, the meeting, and because he goes to a meeting later on, still looking like that.
Yeah, and he has to go to a meeting, but it actually he ends up at a biker bar.
Oh yeah,
and they throw him out of there for some odd reason because they're offended by mimes.
They hate mimes, which again, something that they didn't explain
No.
at all. Why? Like what?
Why does anybody hate mimes? I mean, I understand there's like a universal hatred for them, which makes no sense to me.
Well, I get that, but like, why would it be so visceral at a bar where people would actually just like stop everything they're doing? Of course, turn off the jukebox. Got to have that stupid trope.
Oh yeah,
and
which I don't understand because you can't really turn off anyways.
I know,
unless
whatever.
you unplug it.
Unless you want, yeah. And then he goes into this stupid speech that's supposed to be inspiring, I guess. I don't know, and about like accepting people for who they are
and what they look like,
and then they don't
not what
buy
they
it.
Look like. Yeah,
and they don't buy it, and they kick him out of the bar.
And they throw him into some trash out front.
Yeah,
like on a fishing net or something.
So that's supposed to make you feel like sympathetic for him, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
Whatever, it's stupid. And then so then he does something, who knows? And then he
he at one point ends up on a TV show.
That's right, interview.
Yeah, for a TV interview, they put a bunch of makeup on him. There's a line that I shouldn't have laughed at, but they're putting the makeup on him, and then something like the person putting the makeup on says something like, "Oh, who does your makeup?" or something like, like you look ugly or something. Who does your makeup? And then he says to somebody else like, "Who does yours?"
Oh yeah,
it's just like
stupid asshole. Yeah,
it was an asshole move.
So what happened? Oh yeah, what happens there is that they spiked his. No, they made a smoothie for him and then said that it was from the show itself or whatever.
Yeah, and they put ghost peppers in it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they put a bunch of like.
So again, they're poisoning the dude.
Again, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't ask for this," but then the woman walks away because he asked some woman who works in the show to give it to him personally, so that he wouldn't get
yelled at.
Yeah. So then he takes a sip of the. Well, at first you got to keep playing it up too, because every time he's about to take a sip, the interviewer asks him a question,
and he's got makeup on covering up the the face that he has,
and it just looks terrible.
So yeah, he starts sweating profusely after drinking the ghost pepper smoothie, and
he starts eating everything inside, drinking everything inside, and they film the whole thing, of course, for some reason.
Yeah, because cameras always do that.
They don't cut at all. They're like, "Oh, we'll just let him have this moment of just panicking and."
We'll put this on TV. And, okay, now, he's on this interview, by the way, advertising this game that still has a glitch in it.
Yeah.
I've never worked for a phone game app company or Nintendo or Sega or any of these type of companies, or PlayStation or whoever. But I'm pretty sure you don't start advertising something that drastically that still has glitches in it.
The game.
I mean, sometimes you'll do a teaser on something, but they had like a deadline for when it came out. I mean, I've like made movies and stuff, and we've had deadlines, and we do advertise coming up to it. But it's usually like teaser trailers. But if we had some kind of major setback in the movie, I think we would stop advertising it. I don't know. It just seems really messed up to me.
I mean,
my head hurts, Matt.
Yeah, you okay?
I'll be okay. It's just this movie hurt my head.
I mean, the game barely started before it started glitching. It was like as soon as it started.
It's like you turn it on and it glitches.
So let's like advertise a release date from that.
Yeah,
you can't even play the game at all for not even a second.
Don't get it.
It's so stupid. And so, again, the game makes no sense too.
Again, it hurts my head.
So after this whole meltdown where they apparently just decided to film the whole thing, he's really like losing his shit at this point, and then. He finally, I guess, admits defeat or something like that and promises to tell the kid's dad. Again, that's all he wants. This kid doesn't want rights to the game. He doesn't want royalties for the game being sold. He just wants his dad to know that he didn't lie.
Yeah, that's all he wants.
What the fuck? Like, why wouldn't you want royalties, you stupid piece of shit? Like, is your dad that rich that you're like, no thanks,
Well, it's kind of the same thing that the kid won in the first movie, too.
I'll just let my dad pay for everything, even though I'll be perfectly able to pay for myself. Nah, who cares? I'll just use his emergency credit card for emergencies.
Yeah.
Because flying to San Francisco is an emergency. Also paying for my friend's airfare as well, so it's 2 plane tickets to and from.
Mm-hmm.
Emergency. And the emergency is my dad needs to know I didn't make it up about this game. That's the emergency.
Yep.
You know, not getting royalties.
Well, I will give him credit. He did try calling before he went out there.
Oh, that's right. He did try to tell him.
He tried calling them, and they kept hanging up on him.
Because, of course, they wouldn't hang up on someone just claiming that the guy stole their game. I mean, he's the only one that would ever do that, right?
Oh, no, nobody ever does that.
No one ever would call and say, hey, I thought of that game first. No.
Companies like that don't have lawyers on retainer just for this purpose or anything. No.
But in this movie, of course, they don't because you gotta further along the plot. So, what happens next, Mike? I don't even remember now.
Okay, we had they do pranks on him.
More pranks, right?
Oh, but actually, we get to the point eventually where they need first. They did the pranks originally, and then they have a situation where Kevin does help him fix the game.
Oh,
he convinces him because, like he said, he wants him to call his dad. And then, of course, he fixes the game and double crosses him.
Of course.
Larry double crosses Kevin and has the kids taken away. And okay, here's my question. I have several of these questions throughout the movie, This is a video game company. There's glitches in this game. We see at least a dozen people working on this game. You mean to tell me not one of those guys could figure out how to fix this fucking game?
No. The glitch was so bad.
And supposedly this is like a really popular, this would probably be like the equivalent of working at, at like EB Games or something, you know what I mean? It's not like it's, mom and pop basement video games or something. It's
That's
like,
a great name for a mom and pop basement video games.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like
nothing does.
That they need this Kevin kid to fix this fucking game.
He's like the missing key. He's such a genius. He's such a genius. I mean, that's why he lies. Everything he does is okay because he's Kevin and he's a genius. And, his teachers can go fuck themselves because, the rules don't apply to Kevin.
But he can't type his fucking
paper.
No,
he can't. He's got to write it down by hand.
Or have turned the paper in the, on time in the first place. Because usually when you're smart, you can actually just, shit that shit out.
No.
And, just saying, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I struggled a lot in high school and stuff and had to, find ways to get things done and study hard. Assholes like this piss me off when they don't do the right thing.
Right. So, okay.
I hate this kid.
You can calm down. So Kevin McAllister.
My head hurts, Matt.
So Kevin McAllister Part 2, when he's home alone. So I thought that was good.
Yes, it was.
He just, instead of messing with the wet bandits, he's basically ruining this guy's life, who stole his idea or whatever, and he fixes it, and then everything's great. And
at least in Home Alone, it was the parents' fault. They left him home alone.
They left him home.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And this time, he just decides to go on a freaking journey to San Francisco with his dad's emergency money, and then. But hey, Dad must make a lot of money. So again, typical rich kid. Oh well, my dad, he works hard. I'll just, I'll have an easy life. Fuck you. Anyway, so, what happens next? He fixes the game, and then
they throw him out, and then they're just getting kicked out of the hotel. Pennywise comes and saves the day because she's pissed off at fuckface Wolf.
Oh, because he fired her, right?
No. She just is just sick of the way that he was treating the kids.
Oh, okay.
Just like in the first movie where the assistant in that movie did
That's
the
right.
same
He
thing.
did, the same thing.
I didn't see that coming at all, Matt.
And then,
did you?
No, I did not. And then what happens? They
set up a whole thing to get him caught, like they did in the first movie.
Okay, where he admitted to it, right, or something.
Yeah, the limo driver comes and picks him up, and it's the Russian limo driver.
Oh, yeah.
Just like in the first movie, it was Donald Faison's character.
And they basically pretend to drive him through all of these, like, hazardous.
Yeah,
places
and it
or...
turns out the whole time they get him to admit it on video that he did this shit. He's inside the somehow inside like a studio of some sort.
Yeah, how did he not notice that?
I don't know. And they have flat screen monitors around each of the windows. So when he looked outside, he thought he was in the middle of the desert. Or something.
No, a train.
Or train.
A train was.
Oh yeah, no, he thought a train was coming. It was a desert in the first movie.
But how did he not know that they even got into the place to begin with? Was the whole thing?
Well, the windows were tinted and he didn't see out.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
But he could see out all of a sudden? That seems weird.
They rolled down the window, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever, it was stupid. And then...
But anyways, Barry Bostwick's character, Larry Wolf, admits to the thing on the video. They have a chase scene. They end up on the stage. They're showing videos of him doing stupid stuff like exercising and shit.
Oh, yeah, why was that funny? Watching a man exercise. Like, how is that humorous? I don't understand. What's wrong with exercising? Or what's funny about it?
Matt, my head hurts.
I don't get it. Like, I can understand, like, a guy dancing in his underwear or something. He's just on his exercise bike.
He was in underwear.
Okay,
but
how is that funny? Him on an exercise bike. Like, how is...
I don't know. Maybe it's funny.
I don't get it.
Chubby old dude exercising. I don't know.
I don't get it. It's
I don't
stupid.
either.
It makes no sense. Like, if anything, they should be applauding him. Oh, there's an older gentleman who still cares about his body, and he's drinking this terrible tasting smoothie with eggs and broccoli and other kinds of weird shit, and he's got like dumbbells that he's lifting, and he's got his own private gym in his own house.
Yeah,
seems like a nice thing that you would be applauding someone for.
But you know, he doesn't have kids.
He has no kids, so that's funny, I guess, too. How's that funny?
I don't know.
Whatever. My head hurts now, too, Mike. God damn it.
Yeah, and then so basically, what happens is they have this big conference where they're debuting the game. It's all fixed. He admitted to, on video. This time, Kevin backed up and emailed the fucking thing to himself.
Oh, well, that's good.
The video.
He finally figured out to save his work. Idiot.
Again, why didn't he type his paper, Matt?
I don't know. It had to look cool. It had to look like he's an artist, because they even had like candles, I think, at one point, or like to make it really cool. Like, oh man, he's really getting into this project, type of thing.
I don't get it.
And I still don't think he'd be able to do that all in one night. Personally,
cry,
I know.
Anyways, so then
he bows and they all applaud him because they know.
And everybody in the audience of the thing looks like Steve Jobs just rose from the grave and appeared on stage.
Stupid Kevin McAllister piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then,
hey folks, this is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
Matthew Haas.
We just wanted to tell you about our great podcast called Super. It's called All Too Real. And on that show, what do we do, Matt?
We watch biopics, and then we talk about whether or not the movie matched up with the real story or not.
So it
was a lot more exciting than that, though.
Yeah, so we analyze the real story and the real story.
Get it?
Get it?
Real.
Yeah, they're spelled differently, folks. You can guess which one I said which way.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, so sometimes we have a guest, sometimes we don't. But we talk about great movies like Shattered Glass and The Social Network and Futile and Stupid Gesture, among others. Those are some of the ones that we've covered so far, and we're going to cover a lot more. So please subscribe on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your great, fun podcasts. And be sure to share it with your friends.
Do it.
And make sure you're not afraid to get all too real. Bye-bye.
And then we go to back to the home afterwards. The dad came up. The dad appeared too. I forgot about that.
yeah.
Somehow he appeared there.
Oh, that's right. Someone called him.
Yeah.
Who was it? Was it?
I don't know.
Was it Pennywise or Becca? Someone called
somebody.
him. Somebody called him, and his dad just left his business conference to fly to San Francisco Who knows? He may have been even further out to San Francisco than he was originally. Like, what if they lived in Chicago and his
maybe his business trip was in San Francisco? Who knows?
Then why would he go?
I don't know.
Then he's gonna get caught by his own dad. What a fucking idiot! So,
I don't know.
Anyway, so he this is ridiculous.
But then they get back home and Kevin's dad is like, says, "Oh, we're gonna talk about you using my credit card, blah blah blah," or something, and then he says, "Here, just take it out of this," and he gives him a check, and it's for like $350,000.
Yeah, it was over. It was in the multiple hundreds of thousands.
Yeah,
and that was one. And he goes, "Oh, this was my first royalty check."
Yeah,
his first. It's like, great. So now Kevin, he's a compulsive liar.
And again, what does this video game do?
The video game makes.
I mean, it's like a phone app thing, and I mean, I know we've had stupid things like Candy Crush and Flappy Bird.
But those make sense, though.
Yeah,
there's at least
a concept. I didn't know what the fuck this thing was doing. It was like some kind of weird little, I don't know, Kirby wannabe thing walking around doing something, and I don't know what the fuck.
We can look it up. I don't even remember anything at all happening in the game.
And they were throwing things at things and stuff, and that's all I saw. And I don't know what the hell it had to do with being a liar.
And why was it called Bigger, Fatter Liar?
But they kept referring to it as Big Fat Liar in the movie.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it would say Bigger, Fatter Liar on the screen, but then they'd refer to it as Big Fat Liar.
So they're like trying to like piggyback on the first movie by like
either that or
subliminally.
They probably thought they were going to call it Big Fat Liar 2, but then somebody thought it'd be clever to call it Bigger, Fatter Liar.
Okay, but okay.
In post, I mean,
that's wonderful, I guess, but.
I don't know, Matt. Can we take a break for a minute?
This is one of the worst. This is one of the worst ones we watched. I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a break.
Yeah,
I got to go get our guest. He's gonna come in here. We've got an expert. I just want to make up one more thing that happened in the movie. Oh yeah, Larry Wolf ends up getting fired, obviously, and then he becomes a street mime.
A terrible street mime.
Really bad one. But we'll be right back in a second here, folks, with a special guest.
Stay tuned.
Okay, we're back. We just had our very special guest step in here. He's sitting at microphone 3 right now. His name is Marc Marceau. You may have heard of Marcel Marceau, the famous mime. This is Marc Marceau, his third cousin twice removed, who is a very famous American mime. And we're about to ask him some questions about Barry Bostwick, Larry Wolf's portrayal of a mime at the end of the movie. Okay, Mark. What did you think of Barry Bostwick's portrayal of being a street mime in this movie? Was it accurate? All right, he's trapped in a box. I guess you can't talk inside this box. I don't know. Mark's just sitting here trapped in a box.
How do we get him out?
I don't know if we have to break the glass or what we do. He's trapped in a glass box. So I guess he can't. It's on the other side of the microphone.
Can you get out of the box? Can you mime yourself out?
Mark, are you okay? Now he looks like he can't breathe inside this box.
God, so he's gonna die
inside a. Do you have like a hammer or something?
How do I get you out? Tell me or show me.
You've got to talk to us here, Mark.
Something.
All right, now he looks angry.
I'm angry.
I am too. What?
Dude.
Matt, when you got this guest for us.
Oh, it's my fault. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't want to place the blame on you. I mean, even though I made you do all the work to get the guest. But did you have him vetted? By like 3 or 4 other mimes.
No.
Did you try talking to them?
No, I didn't find 3 or 4 other mimes.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I just found him at a Burger King. I'm not even sure if he's a mime or not. He wasn't talking. He was
just wearing the white makeup.
He was just very quiet, so I just assumed he was a mime.
And he had white makeup on.
Yeah.
Okay. Now he's pretending to pull a rope.
By the way, Burger King, if you'd like to...
Yeah, Burger King, if you would like to sponsor us, even if you have mimes in your lobby, we're fine with that. You can contact me at mike@cullenpark.com. Anyways, okay, so now he's pulling a rope.
Okay.
All right. Can you think he wants you to pull the other end, Matt.
Can I help you? Okay.
Yeah,
All
I think he wants you to... Okay.
All right, there we go.
Okay.
I'm pulling.
All right, now he fell on his ass.
God damn it.
What the...
Fucking Mark.
Mark, you look really mad.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell at you, Mark.
All right, now
I don't know how to help you. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
All right. Now he's storming off.
All right, maybe we shouldn't have him talk. Maybe he just...
Yeah, maybe we should just cut this segment.
Sorry, dude.
Okay.
I'll see you later at
All
the
right.
Burger King.
Yeah, we'll. Okay.
Get me a double cheeseburger. I'll meet you in a half hour.
Yeah. Okay. Here's some money. Mark. Thanks for coming in. All right. Yeah. Okay.
All right, see ya.
Yeah. Some chicken nuggets. Okay. Yeah. Like a shake, maybe. No fries. Okay. Bye, Mark. All right. Okay. That was fun. That was our first
guest.
First very special guest. I mean, sorry, folks.
Didn't say anything.
Yeah. That was kind of rude. Anyways,
We gotta talk to him about this later.
I don't even think he saw the movie.
I don't think so either.
I think he just wanted to be on our podcast.
I didn't ask him if he saw the movie.
Well, that was your.
I just said if you want to come on a podcast and talk.
I was trying to find out how well of a street mime Barry Bostwick was. I mean, by the way, Barry Bostwick is a nice guy.
He is.
I just want to tell you that I met him once. I'm actually in a movie with Barry Bostwick called Home Run Showdown.
Yep.
I'm an extra in that movie, in a scene that features Barry Bostwick. So I'm actually on the screen at the same time as him.
Mm-hmm.
You can see me very clearly in that movie that also stars Matthew Lillard and Dean Cain.
It's a good time.
Sitting next to my dad in a baseball stadium.
Mud Hens?
Yep. And and Barry Bostwick is also in a movie called 3 Days in August, I think it is. With the wonderful Colton Tapp, who is in Pi Day Die Day.
Great movie.
Yes, it is.
Good stuff.
Anyways, so, Matt, would you recommend this movie to anybody?
No.
Why or why not?
I just say watch the first one if you want to watch it. It's better. It's got better actors for the most part. Sans Barry Bostwick.
Boy, I mean, I think the kids are good, too.
Becca was good. Or the actress who played Becca was good.
The girl that played Pennywise was good, too.
Yeah,
I mean, it was okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
whatever. I mean, you gotta work with what you're given, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Your lines and everything, and how the director wants you to act, I guess.
Yeah, by the way, this was, in case you're wondering, directed by Ron Oliver. Not John Oliver, but Ron Oliver, who is an Emmy-nominated director and writer-producer. He has also been an actor and things, too, but he's directed episodes of back in the day, like it looks like some episodes of Degrassi: The Next Generation.
Oh wow!
Trying to see other things that pop out at me. He's directed a lot of stuff, actually. Some episodes of the TV show Goosebumps. The live-action Police Academy, the series.
Okay.
The new Addams Family series. Are You Afraid of the Dark? He's directed 17 episodes. Oh, yeah, 17 episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark? So yeah, he's got a decent.
It's got a nice. I mean, I guess I changed my mind. It's fine if you want to watch it. I mean, with a friend or.
If you liked the first one, or if you're just going through Netflix and you want to find something stupid to watch.
That's not scary.
To entertain your kids.
or
something. Yeah, it's worth watching, but it has a lot of flaws.
It really.
It did hurt my head.
I got a headache right now.
Yeah.
Do you have a headache?
Yeah, I do.
So we both have headaches.
And okay. And like I said, why the fuck didn't he type the paper out? We wouldn't have had a movie if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's probably why. And I found a website that I really am starting to enjoy called it's the Awful Movies Wiki. And if you want to check them out, they list 19 reasons why this movie sucks. So, I'm not going to name all of them, but I'll go through a couple of them here. Yeah, one of the things is Sean Levy the director of the original film, didn't even plan on making a sequel, and neither did Dan Schneider, the writer of the first film. Neither one of them have any involvement in this movie. Dan Schneider for other reasons, because he's kind of been blacklisted right now out of Hollywood for good reason, because he supposedly, allegedly, I'm just going to make sure I'm pointing this out, allegedly, sexually harassed and possibly raped a bunch of underage girls in Nickelodeon, including Amanda Bynes. Okay, so, but he's known for a lot of things, like he wrote the movie Good Burger. He was one of the writers on all that. He created Kenan and Kel. He created Drake and Josh. He created The Amanda Show. He, and probably almost all the live action shows that Nickelodeon's had in the last 20 or so years were all him. So, yeah. And he was also an actor back in the day. He played Dennis Blunden on Head of the Class with, he was the fat kid on that show. That was a great show, though. I loved that show. Used to watch it all the time. Head of the Class. It was with Howard Hessman from WKRP as the teacher who taught the gifted kids.
He was like the
cool teacher,
the rebel teacher,
the former hippie teacher.
He shows up late, that kind of thing. He just wakes up, gets out of bed,
and then he was in the show until he decided to quit, and then they replaced him with Billy Connolly as the new teacher, who then got a spin-off of that show. But anyways, I digress. So, but anyways, we're gonna go off and comb the world for maybe another great direct-to-video sequel or something else wonderful to talk about next episode. But be sure to tune into the next one.
We're not sure.
My head hurts.
Mine too.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.